Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to show you how I dial in a brand new bag of coffee. Let's get into it. So before we really get stuck into it, I just want to talk about a few tools which I think are essential to good espresso and helping you to dial in and really getting the most out of your coffee. Because as we know, it's not cheap to buy, can be super expensive, especially if you get like a geisha. So you really want to be basically hitting the nail on the head, getting the best start you can. So firstly, a good tamper. Now, it doesn't have to be a self-leveling, super fancy, expensive tamper. What I would say to you is, get one that fits your basket well. First things first, it needs to fit your basket well. And what I want to say is, I'm now using a Pullman basket, 58mm. The IMS basket I was using before was 58mm, but my push tamper, which many of you have seen before, which I'll use in this video, was actually loose in the IMS basket, but it fits fantastically well in the Pullman basket. So really just make sure you've got a good quality tamper to start with. After that, you can start buying self-leveling, calibrated, all that good stuff, but just start with something that fits. Secondly, WDT tool. Super cheap to buy now. You can get them 3D printed. Manufacturers are making them. If you've got a cheaper grinder or even a more expensive grinder, it's good practice to break those clumps up, even the grounds, get some good distribution before you tamp. And then thirdly, a good set of scales. Now, it doesn't have to be anything super fancy, super expensive, as long as it's got a timer on it, if your machine doesn't, and as long as it can weigh to about 0.1 grams, I think you're good to go. So they're the three things you really need to start with. Stuff like shot collars, puck screens, all those other little bits and pieces, they're nice to have, but they don't actually improve your espresso as much as those three other tools do. So now we've got the tools out of the way, let's get into the coffee I'm going to brew. Now, obviously, depending on whether you've got medium, dark or light roast, variables are going to be different. I'll talk about those in a minute. But I'm brewing an Ethiopian washed from Origin Coffee here in the UK. It's about 2 weeks off roast date, so absolutely perfect. I've literally just ripped the seal off it. So let's open the bag up, let's have a look. I think it's a medium. Yeah. Looks medium to me. Let me see if I can show you on the... There you go. Just about see. It's about medium. I've just dropped a load of it on the floor. So it looks about medium to me. What I would say is, another top tip, I've brewed an Ethiopian medium before. So I have a little notepad that I basically write down all of my settings that I've used. So the grind, the temperature, the pre-infusion, what the max pressure the machine got to, and also the shot time, and then I can go from there. So I've got a good starting point on my niche of where to go from. So now let's talk about the machine, temperatures, etc. that we're going to use there. So as you can see, I've got my Sage dual boiler. Now, first things first, this is a medium, so typically for that I would brew it around 92 degrees, which I don't think you can quite see the screen, but it's at 92 degrees. If I was doing a light roast, I would probably go 94, 95, and a dark roast 88 to 90. So medium roast for me, bang in the middle. Now, obviously I use the manual button for all the brew shots, and I also use my pre-infusion hack, which I'll link above. So effectively double up and down buttons at a time. We've got 60 seconds set on the pre-infusion, and my pump power I've got set at 79, which for me is roughly a 9-bar shot, which is what I tend to like to do on medium roast. I like 8 to 9 bar. If it's a light roast, I like a longer contact time and around 6 to 7 bar, so I adjust it that way. But that's basically it for the settings on the machine. And also another thing to do, obviously this machine's been on for a little while now. This portafilter and basket is getting nice and hot. So let's weigh some coffee, let's brew a shot. So for this, we're going to do a typical 18 in 36 out. As I say, you don't need an expensive scale like the Akai Luna here. It's a fantastic scale, but my God, it's expensive. So let's just get 18 grams in there. A little bit out. 18 grams. Little spritz of water. Shake those about into the top. Now, top tip here is that cup now, as you can see, it's absolutely soaked. So you want to grab yourself a little towel or something and just dry that out. Because if you don't dry it out, you're basically just going to get an absolute mess in the bottom, a wet mess in the bottom of your cup. So let's see how long this takes to grind. So first things first, take the portafilter out. It's probably going to be slightly wet, so just dry that down with a tea towel or a towel, whatever you got. No need to buy them specific barista towels. A bit like when you get a wedding cake, it's just normal cake. What I like to do is take my niche cup and just drop that into there already, mainly because it helps get rid of the extra. You get a little bit of a lip there like that, but that's okay because we go over it with the dosing funnel. Just break that down already. Come with the WD-T, way around the basket. Shot collar, should I say, helps here, just so you can be a little bit more aggressive with your WD-T without the grinds going everywhere. So we've got that there, that looks pretty good. So then give that a tap just to level it off a bit. Then we'll come in with the push tamper. Lovely smooth fit, as I say, quite important that fit. And then there you can see, look, a lovely, nice, clean fit around the edge. And then we'll drop in a puck screen. Let's pull a shot. So I've just locked the portafilter in, zero out the scales. Let's start the shot. So you can't see it, but that's maxing out at about 8.5 bar there, and it's just starting to decline now. And there we go, 21 seconds for 35.3 grams. So off the bat, it doesn't look terrible. Move that coffee out of the way. Nice crema on it. Get it in focus. Looks like quite a shot. What I would say is a little bit fast, but let's grab a spoon, give it a little stir, and let's give it a try, because that's what we're doing here. We're dialing in. Cheers. Yeah, that's pretty. Shot's too quick. That shot's too fast. So there, on the niche, we've gone for just over 19. We need to find that up. That probably needs to find up probably half a step. What I've found from my experience is on the niche 0, every number equates to around 3 to 4 seconds in the cup. So at 21 seconds, I'll probably go down to roughly 18. So one whole step, and we'll see what that brings. So I'll finish this, I'll prep that, and I'll come back to you. So back with another puck prepped. This one was ground at 18 on the niche. So let's see what we get. 0 the scale. Off we go. So that one's probably peaked at, that's about 9.5 bars there. So obviously the tighter grind, technically we need to drop the pump pressure there. It's definitely a much slower shot. So a little bit over 37.5, 33 seconds. So again, shot looks good, but let's see how it tastes. I got a feeling I'm going to leave it over there. So there's two variables you could change there. Obviously this style of a bit of a sort of very thick crema though, that's nice, of a sort of fake lever style shot, if you like. The problem with it is, and it's not a huge problem, But as you can see, the variables that the machine is not trying to continually apply flow to keep pressure up. It lets it decline. So there's two things we could do. You either mess about with the pre-infusion setting, or probably what I do would be to change the grind. So technically I know now that if this is not great tasting, or it's a bit over extracted, or I think I could improve it, then the grind really, probably 18.5 on the niche, is probably where you're going to need to be. But let's try it anyway. Cheers. Oh, that's good. That's good. It's got that nice bright acidity, but it's not overpowering. The last shot, it was sour. It was just really too much acidity coming through with nothing else. That's much more balanced. As I say, it's got some good acidity to it. There's a hint of sort of like an orange. I mean, it says clementine on the bottom. I'm getting that. That's coming through. Yeah, that's nice. That's a good shot. I probably would still, though, just go to 18.5 and see what I'd get. For me, 33 seconds is probably not, is a little bit long for me. I think the 25 to 28 is usually my sweet spot for medium roasts. But this is definitely more palatable than the last shot. So anyway, I hope you guys found that interesting. If there's anything else that you want me to do test-wise or anything with the Sage, do let me know. Please like and subscribe the video. Subscriber count is slowly gaining, which is fantastic. Great to see people that appreciate the content. So yeah, please continue to like and subscribe. Hope you have a great day. I'll catch you in the next one.